Leeds United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 4. Stevie Nicol, was it a case of Leeds bad, Spurs good, or a bit of both?
Ooh, I don't think I've made my mind up yet. Listen, Leeds bad, yes. It was 4. It could have been 7 or 8 easily. At the same time, you know, you look at the start of the game, and Leeds actually could have gone ahead and maybe should have gone ahead. They'd already hit the post, and Koch had missed a header before Spurs actually went ahead. But the truth is, there are so many holes in this Leeds side that it's difficult to turn around and say that this was such an all-dominating performance from Spurs. The truth was, Leeds kept coughing the ball up. And when you've got the quality of Harry Kane and Heung-Min Son as a partnership, then you're going to be under pressure and they're going to hurt you. And they absolutely did. Harry Kane must have had... Listen, he ended up with a goal and an assist. He could have had 3 or 4 other assists if his teammates had put opportunities away. So, to answer your question, I'm going to eventually agree, a bit of both, because at the end of the day, when you score 4 goals away from home, you're doing something right. And it's not your fault if the opposition are not up to it.
Credit to Spurs. You've got to win the game. They did. They were very clinical as well. I mean, Leeds have hit the frame of the goal on a couple of occasions. It's one of these, if it had finished 8-1 or 9-2 or something ridiculous, but why have Leeds suddenly become as open as they have? And I say suddenly, I mean over the last 2-3 months, because no other team, Stevie, in the Premier League has conceded more goals than Leeds United.
The truth is, they've always been open.
Not this again. Open.
Well, the problem they have is they're not getting away with it. They've been getting away with it. Again, you have to look and say that, you know, 3 of the best players, 3 of the stalwarts, you know, Smith, Bamford up front, Cooper at the back. You know, when you don't have your starting 11, then you're in trouble with the way they play, and that's just the way it is. You have to adapt as a coach. It's one thing to take a lot of praise and say you're being brave and you're playing attacking football, but when you're losing game after game and you're losing 4 and 5 and 6 in games, then you have to do something. And unfortunately for Bielsa, he waited till half-time when they were 3-0 down before he changed it. It'll be interesting to see what he does with team now in the end of the season, because if they continue to play the way they do, and as open as they are, then they're going down.
That's one of the criticisms. Yeah. One of the criticisms you've just mentioned is the ability to change and adapt. But it's like the horse is bolted, it's gone, and then the stable door is closed. So he brings on Rafinha recently at half-time against Manchester United. That had a bit of an impact, but didn't work. They're missing the spine of the team, whether it's Liam Cooper, the captain at the back. But if they continue like this, teams are going to fancy themselves to score 2, 3, or 4. And without Bamford, you can't see Leeds scoring that many. Right now, would you have Leeds at the end of the season going down the way that they're playing?
Yes, 100%. I mean, you said it. Any team, and I'm talking any team, and I'm including the teams that are below them at this very point. That could change by the end of the day. But I think any of the sides that are in and around Leeds who need to try and get out that bottom 3 would love to play against Leeds tomorrow. They'd love to play them. In fact, between now and the end of the season, if they could play Leeds every Saturday, they'd be delighted, because then they probably ensure their safety. So that's the type of trouble that Leeds are in right now.
Spurs, consistency or consistently inconsistent. They win at Man City, they lose at Burnley, they bounce back. Are they, for you, the 4th best team in the country, i.e. that final Champions League spot, the 4th place finish? Can it be Spurs at the end of the season if we see more of this and less of what they showed at Burnley?
All right. I'll say it again. I just said that if Tottenham can play Leeds between now and the end of the season every Saturday, then yes,
of course.
Then yes, they'll be 4th. No, they won't be 4th. I don't think they'll be 4th. You can't. You have to praise Spurs for the way they played today, because If the opposition give you the ball, then you have to do something with it. And they scored 4 goals away from home, and they could have had 8 or 9. Pat on the back, well done, good response. But the fact is, you're playing against Leeds, and so this is not a game where you turn around and say, "Well, we've solved all our problems," because they haven't. This maybe in 3 weeks' time, when they've got another 2 or 3 victories behind them, then you say, "Well, okay, this is a different Spurs." But right now, you can't hang your hat on Spurs. You said it earlier, inconsistent, and 1 victory against Leeds doesn't all of a sudden make you the 4th best side in the Premier League.
What they do have, Stevie, is Harry Kane and Heung-Min Son, and the relationship that this pair have together. That's now a record in the Premier League for goal combinations, assists, and goals between 2 players. You played with some wonderful players in your time further forward. What makes a top partnership like Harry Kane and Heung-Min Son have?
Obviously ability, but a football brain and an understanding of the capabilities of the guy you're playing alongside, and what suits each other best. You know, the pace of Heung-Min Son. Harry Kane knows that if he can get a little bit of space in behind the back line and drop balls in, the Son's pace is going to get him there, which is exactly what we saw in the 4th goal. But then you have to be able to deliver. Kane delivered the pass, Son delivered the finish. So yeah, the understanding and the ability and they complement each other so well. But really, first and foremost, it's about a football brain, and they both got one.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.